Now, fasting has not been a big part of my spiritual discipline. Don't laugh quite that easily looking at me. Thank you, Margie. As you can tell, fasting is not a big deal for me. It's not been a big part of my spiritual life. But as I've been wrestling through this subject, I believe God is challenging and convicting me that I need to have times of a new focus of seeking of Him. That God wants to go deeper, and sometimes that means me having to say, I'm going to let go of stuff so I can pursue God even more. And yes, that includes food. That may be Mom, that Dad steps up to the plate and takes care of making food, because it's kind of hard to fast when you have to make the food for the kids. Maybe that means you give each other a break. Maybe that fasting is one of those other areas, or another area that you find in your own life that says, you know what, it's not about food right now, but I need to give up this because that way I can focus a little bit more on pursuing God and seeing God work. We've been on this journey this last month of its time. And my friends, I believe it is time. I believe it is time for us to make the time to pursue God more deeply. If you're here checking God out, I'm sorry, this probably isn't the first sermon I would have picked for you to hear. I usually try to be really careful about that, and fasting may be like, whoa, that's a little freaky, not sure I'm ready to give up food. You know what? For you, maybe it's just saying, okay, God, I'm going to, you know what, I need to find out if you're real or not. But if you've been a Christian for a long time and you feel like you're stuck in mediocrity, maybe now is the time to say, God, it is time for me to move past this with you. And you know what I've seen happening over the past month? It seems to me that the body's been wrestling with these concepts of taking time to pursue God. And Satan has been coming after some of you, making life worse. Making you frustrated, irritated, depressed, overwhelmed, want to yell at the kids and the husband and the wife, and everything seems to be getting more and more on you. And why is that, my friend? It's because if you're moving towards God, Satan is going to pull out the stops to try to get you to not move towards Him. Satan does not want you connected to divinity because there is power and peace and love, and that stuff drives him nuts. That's right. And he's doing everything he can to distract you. Maybe it's time for a fast to say, God, come in and move this stuff out of the way and heal up the brokenness that Satan is able to enter into so often. I've seen us wrestling with this, and sometimes it seems like all the distractions have gotten even worse. And it's the challenge now of saying, okay, am I really serious about this? Don't stop, my friends. God is calling us, I believe, into something you and I maybe can't even really imagine what it's like, because God has such a vision, and it's time, I believe, in the history of the world for a people to pursue God with such passion that God is able to move in Pentecostal first century power, where people are healed and lives are converted, not by the ones and twos and fives, but by the hundreds and the thousands, because God wants to do something through you. And it's not about me, it's about you. It's what God wants to do through you and in you. He wants to heal up the broken places. He wants to give you new life. And it comes from you saying, God, I want you above everything else. Don't let anything else get in the way. Amen. That is what God's calling, I believe, for us. It is time. And my friends, it's not about coming to the experience. This is a catalyst, and it can take you so far spiritually, but it can't take you all the way, because you and God have got to go face to face. You've got to go face to face every day in your own life, because it's not going to happen by coming and listen to this guy wander around and tell silly stories and open up the Word. It's going to be you and God interacting one-on-one, my friends. Amen. And it's time for this to happen for you and for me even more and more and more. So as we wrap up this series, my prayer is that it's like, yeah, it was an editor, we did that, it was a thing, and the fire, the clock, and it's time, and yeah, it was nice. I pray that this would be a turning point for your life of going more passionately into the presence of God. I don't care what your background is, I don't care how messed up you feel, how many things you've done wrong, how other people have only